What sort of fight was it for you tonight?
It was a tough one, I've sparred Boatsy for many years. I've known him for many years, so I already envisioned a tough, hard fight, and that's what we had today.
And what sort of elevation do you think this sort of fight can give to your career?
Hopefully, we can still push towards the top. At the end of the day, world honors, that's what we're pushing towards. It's maybe just a little setback, but it's not, something that's career defining. I'll go back to the drawing board. I'll work on what I need to work on, improve and come back stronger. There's plenty of fighters, that were great in their times. They've taken L's. So it's just about how you come back from them. It was a great fight, tough fight. I learned a lot, and hopefully, we can bounce back.
And this was Nigeria versus Ghana.
Yeah.
We're really looking forward to it. What are the prospects of taking this sort of fights to Africa?
Oh, I would love for that, man. Do you know what I mean? That would be, obviously I'm Nigerian myself. Josh is from Ghana. I've been both countries. I love both of the countries. To be honest, I love both their jollof rice too. So, if we can bring these kind of events to Africa, it'll be wonderful. Do you know what I mean? It's not just me that's a African sportsman or boxer. There's plenty of us. We're just the lucky ones that have been able to break through and make it onto national TV and whatnot. There's loads of us up and coming. There's still veterans out there. There's loads of good African boxers, and it would be great if one day we could just, put on a show and, show our talent to the world. It'll be brilliant.
And I must say we're proud of you. You represent Nigeria so well. What sort of inspiration does being Niger give to you when you get on the ring?
Well, do you know what? I felt a lot of pressure going out there, but not in a bad way. Do you know what I mean? It drives me, gives me that motivation because, I take pride in being a Nigerian. My parents, they're first generation. They came here, for a better life for me and my siblings, and and look what I'm doing with it. So it's very inspirational. I have people back home, my cousins, aunties, uncles, and they're all watching and are very proud of me. It's not easy back home. So do you know what I mean? I'm very grateful for every day that I'm able to come out here and do my thing. So I take a lot of inspiration from being Nigerian and representing them.
Yeah, and you've been inspiring young people in the UK trying to stop the use of knives in the street.
Yeah.
What sort of message you want to pass to young persons, not just in the UK, but also back home in Nigeria?
Yeah, no, it's just a lack of people that the young kids have to inspire them. Do you know what I mean? They need people that they can relate to in order to say, I don't need to pick up this knife. I don't need to go and rob. I don't need to go and steal, kill. I can put all this energy into something positive. And I think when you have more role models, people you can relate to, it makes it that much more easy and believable that, oh, you know what? If he can do it and he's from so-and-so, why can't I do it? So it's very important, especially in this day and age where, like you mentioned, the knife pandemic and everything like that. We definitely need more role models to inspire the next generation, for sure.
This fight was beyond Azeez and Joshua Boatsy. It was Nigeria versus Ghana. And I've been talking about this back home. People were looking forward to it. What are the prospects of taking this sort of fight to Africa?
Oh, you know what? Ever since Rumble in the Jungle and, these things, Africa is growing so much. We're looking at it now, and the broadcast potential and the big fights potential is definitely there. There's an appetite. I'd love to see it. And it was about Ghana and Nigeria, and it brought them together. And you saw communities together tonight, and it was special to see. There's definitely a love and respect as well, as much as a really fierce rivalry. Can we get big fights to Africa? We love to. I've spoken to Martin Bukoli about that, who's Congolese as well, and he'd love to fight there. Richard Riakporhe as well, he's from Nigeria, and he'd love to fight there. He's going to fight for a world title next against Chris Billion-Smith. So many great fighters from Africa, and most of the big fighters now are coming with African descent as well. So, yeah, fingers crossed there'll be fights there very soon.
What sort of impact will tonight do to Azeez's career?
I think it takes it to a whole new level. I think he gave All I wanted was Dan Azeez to be Dan Azeez tonight, and he was. And he deserves a huge amount of credit. He's a special human being, special fighter. Showed it again tonight. His stock risen. He showed his world level as well. And there's some great fights for him. And look, 2 years ago he wasn't even on television. Tonight he's sold out Wembley Arena in a headline fight against Joshua Buatsi. Incredible story, and it just goes on.
What announcement will we be hearing about Richard Riakpo anytime soon?
He will be fighting against Chris Smith for the WBO world title. He's the most ferocious puncher in the division. He's someone we've worked for a long time. He's a phenomenal fighter. I expect him to be a world champion. I expect him to then move up to heavyweight and really give everyone a run for their money as well. So he is the next one. He's the next, Nigerian king. And he's very proud of where he's from as well. And let's see what happens. He's got a tough fight, hopefully the end of April, against Chris Smith.
What do you know about boxing in Nigeria? Are there potential there?
Well, all I know is we've had so many fighters, Mikhail Lawal as well, Richard Riakpo, Dan Azeez. Am I missing any, guys? Okoli. Is it Okoli? Yeah. So huge fighters from Nigeria, and it's clearly producing a lot of fighters, and there's a reason for that. And so fingers crossed they can host fights soon.
Awesome.
Cheers.
Well, have anything to say to the Nigerian people?
Pardon?
You have anything else to say to the Nigerian people?
Are you there?
Thank you very much.
Is that right?
Yeah.